So hey everyone, welcome to my true crime channel. I apologize that it has been a minute since I have posted. I work full time, so it's sometimes difficult to navigate. But anyway, so in this video today, I'm going to be looking at the Lucy Letby case, and I'm going to be discussing the evidence that was brought out with the therapist wanting Lucy to write down how she feels about things, and those being used as evidence in the case. So if you want to look into this case with me and some of the others I'm going to be looking into as we go along, then this is the channel for you, where I use my years of experience as a psychotherapist, and I do a deep dive into the behaviour, body language in not only the minds of criminals but also the survivors and victims that have gone through the trauma that they have. So don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and let's dive right in. So the way I'm going to be doing this particular video is I'm going to be showing you the notes that were brought up in the Lucy Letby case. And these were notes that were from going to her therapist, asking her to write down her feelings, thoughts, etc. This was very interesting to me because, having worked in this field myself, this is one of the things that I would say to clients. And I ask clients to journal. You know, the way we look at that is that you use that time to get out what you're feeling, and it doesn't matter what that is. And pretty much most of my clients do that. I actually do this myself. So I'm going to talk about this by showing the notes and some of the things that have been talked about and how they have been transcribed. And then I'm going to come back and then just give you my little sort of opinion at the end. So yeah, so let's, here it is.
So I wanted to talk about the things that I have seen in regards to, so some of the wording here, it's love. Sorry, I couldn't save you, my best friend. Today is your birth, my best friend. Engage. I loved you. Please help me. I can't do this anymore. Help, help me, help, help. Please help me, please help me, help me. Love, help. I don't want to engage. I loved you. What more could I have done? Why couldn't this be enough? Was I literally that bad a friendly person that you could do that to me? I don't deserve, and it's blank. Loved you. I think you knew that. And now I am the bad guy. I wanted you to stand by me, but you didn't. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Retrospectively. And then there's a lot that I don't understand. It's like her wording gets more jumbled up. But at the end, she says, I have tried my best, but I can't do this anymore. A lot of this at the bottom is very jumbled up. And so, yeah, here's the next one. So again, here we have where she says, not good enough. There are no words. I am an awful person. I pay. I can't breathe. I can't focus every day for that. Kill myself right now. Overwhelming fear, panic. I'll never have children or marry. I'll never know what it's like to have a family. I haven't done anything wrong. No hope. Police investigation. Forget. Slander, discrimination, victimization. All getting too much. Everything, everyone. Hate myself so much for what this has. Despair. Taking over my life. I feel very alone and scared. And then she says, what does the future hold? Hate, which has been circled quite a lot. Panic, fear, lost. How can I get through it? How will things ever be like they used to be? They won't. I did this. I don't deserve to live. I killed them on purpose because I'm not good enough to care for them. Plus, I am a horrible, evil person. I don't deserve mum and dad and Tom and Matt. World is better off without me. I am evil. I did this. Why me? Monday, can't go to AM, clinical area, plus will be disciplined. Anticipate another 612 plus, and I can't understand that word. Then it's an arrow, and police. Naming me, obviously no evidence. I would have been spoken to, but still upsetting. Then you have supporting me how they can, but can't confirm 100% I didn't do anything or anyone else until it's finished. So I'm taking that as the police have been supporting her, but they cannot confirm that she didn't do anything until they've finished their investigation. And I'm going to be honest, I find that a bit of a bizarre thing to say. You'd think that generally if a person was guilty, they would say they can't confirm I did anything, not I didn't do anything. Parents must experience every day her, and then this is a bit illegible, but and again, can't read that. We tried our best and it wasn't enough. I can't do this anymore. I don't know if many people will think of you today or any day, but I do. And I hope, and there's a bit I can't recall, always remember because you should be. I can't do this anymore. I want someone to help me, but they can't. So, and then this bit was cut off. So, again, you know, obviously I'm not an expert in handwriting and I know that they've come up with things, but the words that are being used here, and bearing in mind these are notes that a therapist has recommended that she puts down. This is her thought process. For me, this does show guilt, but I don't look at this. If I was looking at this and I didn't know the case, I would say that this person is showing remorse, not necessarily guilt, but possibly because she's been in a situation where she feels that she feels responsible.
So as you can see, these notes were used as evidence, and what I find concerning, because I'm at the moment, obviously I'm looking at this case and I'm at the moment staying neutral, purely and simply because I want to make sure that I have all of the evidence in front of me before I discuss if I choose to discuss more about this case. You know, there are a lot of people that are talking about it, and I don't want to feel that I'm sort of jumping on and sort of piggybacking off the back of that. So I want to give this my unique perspective in the fact that I am a therapist and this is something that I would get clients to do. What concerns me is that these have been used against Lucy Letby. Now, again, I'm not saying that whether she did or did not do what she did, because there are people that are saying that she's innocent. There are people saying that she's guilty. Either way, what we can say is what happened was absolutely tragic and should never have happened. But my concern is the fact that these notes are being used as evidence in this way, because I don't feel that it's particularly a true representation of somebody's mind, as in like this sort of current. When I work with clients, their mental state can change from one day to the next. And what you can have is, like, what I would always say is that your thought process is like your own personal diary. It's like when you're writing your diary, you can have thoughts about wanting to unalive somebody. Let's use that for example. It doesn't mean to say that you're going to do it, but you can have a thought process that you feel that way because you're so angry and you are furious. you know, say that person's possibly really, really hurt you or traumatized you or done something, and you feel that way. Now, then something happens to, say, that person, and something awful happens, and brought in as a potential suspect, and then they take what you've written in that moment and go, well, you must have done it then, because you've written that you want them unalived. And I have to say this obviously for YouTube, because unfortunately YouTube do not like certain words, and they flag them and they can deplatform you. So I know people don't like the word unalive. It's not a woke thing. It's unfortunately a YouTube thing. And so I think that this can be quite dangerous. And what can then happen is that people may stop wanting to sort of talk about how they really feel, because they will start to become fearful of that being used against them. Now, okay, not everyone that comes to a therapist is going to end up in a courtroom and their notes being used against them. I've had that experience where, as a therapist, very much in the beginning of my training, my notes were used in court, and I didn't know a lot back then. So of course my notes were very detailed, and my notes were actually used and it was a custody case, and they were actually used against my client. And I found that very upsetting, because at the end of the day, you know, when your client comes to you and they're talking about how they feel, and they can be having all sorts of feelings, and it doesn't mean they're going to act out on them. It doesn't mean anything a lot of the time. It just means that's how they're feeling. And we're entitled to feel that. We're entitled to feel angry. We're entitled to feel frustrated. We're entitled to feel sometimes the darkest of thoughts. I defy anyone that hasn't at some moments in their life thought something very dark about somebody who's wronged them, or if they've gone through a trauma and they feel certain ways. But it doesn't mean that they're actually going to act out and do that. And so even though, okay, in this instance with Lucy Letby, it's possible that she did, again, I'm going to stay neutral on that until I have more evidence in front of me. But I find it concerning that her words have been sort of used as this is sort of the proof that she's done what she's done. I don't feel necessarily that is right. I mean, yes, take them into account, because it certainly does show someone's mindset. But I don't feel, and it might come out later on that there's more to this, but at the moment this kind of feels that they're using these as quite a strong basis for their argument of that she's done what she's done. You can feel guilty. Something can happen. Like I know people that have worked in care homes, and their patient, etc., the person they're looking after has passed away, and they feel guilty. They haven't done anything, but they feel guilty. And they might say, it was my fault. And they will, guilt and blame and shame, etc., are very much can be part of the grief process, depending on the situation. But it doesn't mean anything. It just means that you're human, and that you might feel an element of guilt because you feel that you could have done something more or something better. Now, again, I'm not saying that in Lucy Letby's case. Again, I don't know, but I do feel that we're walking a very walking a bit of a tightrope, I think, if we're going to start taking the personal notes of somebody who's going through trauma or going through something quite severe and has got mental health issues, and using that as evidence in place of guilt or innocence, etc. I think it needs to be a little bit more grey and not so black and white. Sorry, my dog. But yeah, so let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think and feel in regards to the Lucy Letby case? I mean, I'm not saying that I will not say that this was not a tragic case, and with the loss of these babies, and it should never have happened. And if it comes out that Lucy Letby is fully responsible for this, then the law will, I guess, will deem the appropriate action that to be taken. But like I say, my thoughts on this was just being around the therapeutic side of this and how this works with clients and their therapist. And I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with how taking personal notes of a client's darkest moments and using them as evidence is necessarily the way to go. I don't know. But you let me know what you think. Do you disagree? And please be respectful in the comments. We're all here to learn and debate. Any attacking comments are just going to be removed. It's not necessary. If you'd like to treat me to a cuppa, you can do. The link is in the description box below. You can follow me on Instagram and follow me on TikTok. I'm also over there. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to also drop in the comments if you have any ideas of who you would like me to talk about. Have there been interviews that you would like me to sort of delve into and discuss the body language, because that is something I'm quite passionate about. I will be doing another Chris Watts one because that obviously was quite successful. But yeah, let me know in the comments and I will see you in the next one. Have a great weekend, whatever you were doing, and stay safe, stay vigilant, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.